The Los Angeles Dodgers are at it again, and this time they're setting their sights on one of the most electrifying players in Major League Baseball. According to multiple insiders and reports circulating throughout the baseball world, the Dodgers are going all in on Houston Astros outfielder Kyle Tucker, and if this deal goes through, it could completely reshape the landscape of the National League and potentially the entire sport. This isn't just another rumor or speculative chatter from the hot stove season. This is real, this is happening, and the implications are absolutely massive. Let me paint you a picture of what's going on here. The Dodgers, fresh off another deep playoff run and always hungry for more championship hardware, are reportedly preparing a package that could bring Kyle Tucker to Los Angeles. Now, for those who might not be fully aware of just how special Tucker is, let me break this down for you. This is a 27-year-old superstar who has established himself as one of the premier five-tool players in baseball. We're talking about a guy who can hit for average, hit for power, steal bases, play elite defense, and has one of the strongest arms in the outfield. In his breakout season, Tucker slashed an incredible batting line, launched over 30 home runs, drove in over 100 runs, and stole more than 30 bases. That's the kind of production that franchises dream about, and the Dodgers know it. What makes this potential move even more intriguing is the timing. Tucker is entering the final year of his contract with the Astros before he becomes a free agent. Houston faces a critical decision. Do they try to extend him long-term? Do they trade him now to get maximum value? Or do they risk losing him for nothing more than a compensatory draft pick? The Astros have been one of the most successful franchises over the past several years, but they're also dealing with financial considerations and the reality that several of their key players are aging or moving on. The window might be closing in Houston, and that's where the Dodgers see their opportunity. Now let's talk about why the Dodgers would make this move. On the surface, you might think they already have enough star power. They've got Mookie Betts, they've got Freddie Freeman, they've got Will Smith behind the plate, and they've invested heavily in their pitching staff. But here's the thing about the Dodgers organization, they're never satisfied. They operate with a championship or bust mentality, and they know that in today's game, you need depth, you need versatility, and you need insurance against injuries. Adding Kyle Tucker would give them all of that and more. Imagine a lineup that features Betts at the top, Freeman in the middle, and Tucker providing protection and power from either side. That's the kind of murderer's row that opposing pitchers would have nightmares about. The defensive component cannot be overlooked either. Tucker is a Gold Glove caliber outfielder who can play all three positions with excellence. His arm strength allows him to play right field where he can gun down runners trying to take extra bases, but he's also comfortable in center or left. For a team like the Dodgers that values defensive versatility and run prevention, Tucker represents the total package. He makes all the routine plays, but he also makes the spectacular ones that change the momentum of games. In the postseason, where every run matters and every defensive play can be the difference between advancing and going home, having someone like Tucker patrolling the outfield is invaluable. The insider reports suggest that the Dodgers are willing to part with significant pieces to make this happen. We're hearing names like Bobby Miller, the hard-throwing right-hander who showed flashes of brilliance but struggled with consistency. We're hearing about potential top prospects from their farm system, players who represent the future of the organization but who the Dodgers are willing to sacrifice for the immediate impact Tucker would provide. There's also speculation about major league-ready talent that could help Houston remain competitive while transitioning into whatever their next phase looks like. The Astros aren't going to give away one of their best players for nothing. So if this deal is going to happen, the Dodgers are going to have to dig deep into their prospect capital. What's fascinating about this potential trade is what it says about the current state of baseball and the arms race that's happening in the National League. The Atlanta Braves remain stacked with young talent. The Philadelphia Phillies have proven they're legitimate contenders. The San Diego Padres, despite financial challenges, still have superstar talent. The Dodgers know they can't rest on their laurels. They can't assume that having the highest payroll and the best front office is enough. They need to keep adding, keep improving, and keep pushing the envelope. That's the culture that's been built in Los Angeles, and it's why they're willing to make aggressive moves like pursuing Kyle Tucker. From Tucker's perspective, this could be a dream scenario. Playing for the Dodgers means playing in one of baseball's biggest markets, competing for championships year after year, and setting himself up for a massive payday when he hits free agency. Even if he's only in Los Angeles for one season before testing the open market, the exposure and the platform would be enormous. He'd be playing alongside some of the game's biggest stars, in one of the sport's most iconic venues, with a fan base that's passionate and knowledgeable. For a player of Tucker's caliber who might feel underappreciated or overlooked in Houston despite his excellence, the Dodgers offer a chance to step into the spotlight on the game's biggest stage. The financial implications are worth examining as well. The Dodgers have shown time and time again that they're willing to spend whatever it takes to win. They've deferred money in creative ways, they've structured contracts to maintain flexibility, and they've leveraged their massive revenue streams to outspend almost every other team in baseball. Adding Tucker's salary for the final year of his deal wouldn't be a problem for Los Angeles. The real question is whether they'd want to extend him long-term as part of the trade, locking him up before he ever hits free agency. That would require an investment of potentially $300 million or more over 8 or 9 years, but for a player of Tucker's age and talent level, it might be worth it. Let's not ignore the Houston side of this equation though. Trading Kyle Tucker would be an admission that the dynasty era in Houston is over. It would signal a shift toward rebuilding or retooling, and it would break the hearts of Astros fans who've watched Tucker develop from a promising prospect into a superstar. The Astros front office is smart though. They know the business of baseball. If they determine that they can't afford to extend Tucker, and they're at risk of losing him for nothing, then trading him now while his value is at its peak makes logical sense. They could restock their farm system, acquire young controllable talent, and position themselves to remain competitive even as they transition into a new era. It's painful in the short term, but it could be the right move long term. The ripple effects throughout the rest of Major League Baseball would be significant. If the Dodgers land Tucker, it would put even more pressure on teams like the Yankees, the Mets, and other big-market franchises to make their own splashes. It would potentially take Tucker off the free agent market next winter, reshaping the entire landscape of available talent. Teams that were planning to pursue him in free agency would have to pivot to other options. The competitive balance of the league could shift dramatically, especially if Tucker helps push the Dodgers over the top to another World Series championship. There's also the human element to consider. Tucker has been with the Astros organization since they drafted him in the first round back in 2015. He came up through their system, experienced the highs of playoff appearances and the lows of the sign-stealing scandal fallout. Houston is his baseball home, the place where he became the player he is today. Leaving that behind, even for an opportunity in Los Angeles, carries emotional weight. Players talk about the business of baseball, but it's never easy when you're the one being traded, when you're packing up your life and moving to a new city, joining a new clubhouse, adapting to a new organization. Tucker would handle it professionally because that's the kind of player he is, but make no mistake, it would be an adjustment. The tactical matchup advantages Tucker would provide the Dodgers are substantial. He's a left-handed bat with power to all fields, which plays perfectly in Dodger Stadium where the dimensions favor that type of hitter. He has the speed to take extra bases and put pressure on opposing defenses. He's clutch in big moments, as he's proven time and again in high-leverage situations and postseason games. Manager Dave Roberts would have so much flexibility with Tucker in the lineup. He could bat him second to get him more at-bats. He could bat him third or fourth to maximize his RBI opportunities. He could even bat him